Day 267 for the vlog. Day rating is a 7. Had to walk with a pup, which is kind of nice. A little bit chilly out still. I think it's just the norm. But didn't have any or too many distractions. Just went to the little dog park, did her business. We went and walked around a little bit more. And she's tired from the day. And then went to work, and I think everyone was already in that weekend mode. Already like, can it be Thanksgiving yet? Can we go to the holiday? And yeah, I have to agree. I wish we had. My friend said, like, wouldn't it be nice just to have the whole week off? They were a teacher, and they said my kids just don't want to work today. So I don't blame them. It's such a short week. Mentally, they're thinking about family coming to town or going out of town, being able to enjoy food and watch sports or go to movies, do shopping, do whatever it is. So I can only imagine how kids feel, especially with still weird times with pandemic stuff. But we'll get through, I guess, in a couple more days. We'll get some time off. And today we got to go for a run. So I got out of work. I was trying to take the pup for a run hike at the mountain. And she had a hard time. I don't know why she's doing this, but at least once a day for probably the last 10 days, 12 days, we're getting ready to go on a walk. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And she'll go hide in the kennel. Like, she's like, I'm mad. And I'm yelling at her. Or she's scared. I don't know what it is. I'm not raising my voice. I'm just like, come on, let's go. And I try to get a more excited voice so that she knows we're going to go outside and play or walk or jog or run. And she still kind of hides in her kennel or cage. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to get this hangnail off my thumb. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Right on the edge there. It's bothering me. I keep kind of playing with it. Trying to like almost pick at it with one hand. Anyways, so I kept trying to say, let's go for a hike, let's go for a run. And then I'd get up and she'd go hide in the kennel. And so I'd go sit down on the couch. It's like, okay, we're going to sit down and play or calm down. I don't know, for some reason, sitting down on the couch helps her relax, like everything's okay. And they are. And so I'd go back. Like, I don't want to pull her out of the kennel. I heard that's bad. Like, that's her safe spot. That's where she goes for safety and to relax. So I have to let her come out when she's ready. So I go to sit down, and she keeps an eye on me. And as soon as I sit down, she comes out. And she'll sit next to me and say hi. And I'm like, okay, let's go. I give her a quick little pet in the back, around the ears, like around like the paws, her legs. I'm like, come on, let's go. And then she went back to the kennel. I'm like, no, not the kennel. We're going to go outside. We're going to go have fun. Go for a walk, go for a hike. And maybe she's hearing something outside, like other dogs. Maybe she's scared. So I'm trying to be patient with her. But eventually we got her outside and she went straight to the dog park. She did her business out there. And like, all right, come on, let's go back. And she's like, what? We're back already? And I got her in the car and she got a little nervous, so I just kept petting her. And we got to the dog park, or not dog park, the trail. She was excited. She got out, was sniffing a little bit. Gave her like a minute or two to calm down. And like, all right, let's jog. And just the nice and easy jog. I didn't even time it. It was maybe 10 and a half minute pace, something like that. And so we're just cruising, and I'd stop, take a break when it sounded like she was having a hard time, or after a big hill. It was kind of off and on, maybe like a minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off, and it was nothing was fast. Imagine we did between the running and jogging close to a mile. We were out there for about half an hour. Then came back, gave her some water. She sat down real quick, and then she got back inside the apartment and was just like, and tried to play with her a little bit, and she was just kind of like, okay, rub my belly. I'm done. I need to recover. Which is good. That's what I want. I want her to be a little bit tired. I want her to feel like she did something today and doesn't have more energy to go out. So she was fine. I gave her a little treat. I got my lights for the trail. I already had my shoes on, my gear, and I grabbed an extra pair of shorts because I was planning on getting to the grocery store, which I did, but I went to the group run. I was able to get 1.5 miles in right before the group started. Got in a total of 5.37 miles. So it was just shy of 4 miles. Anyway, but got in 1.5 miles before the group, came back, and I found a new guy, Eric. And he's with the Thursday group. He's like, hey, you're with the Thursday Soul Sports group, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, who are you? And, we're already in the dark, so it's kind of hard to see, make out faces. He's like, Eric. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I remember seeing you there. And we chatted off and on for a bit, and this was nice. But, of course, my buddy Jason was there and showed up right before we started. And a funny moment, because I waved at him. He's like, how'd you know it was me? I'm like, I don't know. I've seen your stance before. You have like a stride or walk that I recognize. He's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I was like, I guess for now recognizing purposes, it's a good thing, but I don't know what it is. But just I think coaching for so many years, you get used to see people, the way they stand or move and run, of course, and you get to see different forms and not judge, but just looking at them more and more and more and more, and you see that everyone's a little bit different, whether it's a shoulder swing, the arm swing, their hands are relaxed, maybe they're down to the side or up. I used to run like this. It would just drop down like that. I don't know why. I didn't have control over it until I saw pictures. I was like, why am I doing that? And so I did some form drills to get them up, and now they're kind of a straight line, relaxed, and just so like that. They instead of dropping in, something like that. Which it's straining even to put them like that. I could feel it. So I don't know why I didn't feel it before, but it's not a problem now. Just had something I had to work on. And again, just seen so many different forms of runners with a high knee drive. What do you say, like a shuffle step, or a long stride, or like how they plant their feet. If it's a soft or hard plant, or overstriding. What else? Like leaning back, leaning too far forward, hunched over. I mean, there's so many different types of, of course, heel striker, forefront striker, toe striker. There's so many different ways to describe a form, like, and they're all a little bit different. So I don't know. We kind of laughed. I was like, that's a good thing. I know you. I can spot you out a little easier now, especially in the dark. I was like, I didn't mean anything bad by it. It's just seeing so many people walk and stride. Just get used to it. And then we went on a little run. We were chatting a bit, and he had just finished his 10K a day before, so he was like, I'm a little bit sore. I'm like, you should be. You ran a little bit longer, and it sounded like the race was a little bit out of your, not out of your realm, but I think for his mileage, Jason's doing enough to run it well, but not enough to be like confident in it, if that makes sense. If you were to do like 100 miles, like, oh yeah, a 5-mile race, a 10-mile race, easy. But if you would only run 10 miles a week and to do a 10-mile race, you'd be like, ooh, this might hurt a little bit. This might take me a little longer because I've only ever run either 10 miles once a day, or I run they run twice a week, both of them 5 miles, that kind of a thing. So mentally, you start thinking it's going to be a little more taxing, and it probably will be. And so he was just going over the race and said, well, I ran the pace I wanted. I'm trying to remember if he said 7:50 pace, I think was what he wanted, and he ran 7:49. So I was like, you're in, you did it. You did what you said you wanted to do. You did what you thought you could do. But then he said it's like I got a side stitch all over again. I think maybe his nerves are getting the best of him. That's what he was saying. I think he's right. I think he's just overthinking it and not remembering his breathing. Anyways, we kept trucking on and talked to Eric a bit, and then there was a new girl. Actually, she's coming back. Her name was Mel. She said she does a music teacher. I think she's a music teacher. She teaches music lessons. I think she even kind of said like professional singer. Next time we talked for like a minute. It was like a brief minute. And she was having a hard time breathing, so I felt bad asking her a bunch of questions. But it was her first day back, and she's like, I just wanted to come back. This is important to me, so I'm trying to find a way to get done. I'm like, good for you. Keep it up. Keep coming out here. And I think she was struggling a little bit because she was in the back, and it was dusty. And so you can even see the dust on the road, and I think breathing it in and kind of coming first day back, you're going to feel it a little bit more. I was like, keep chugging on. You're doing good. Just get out here. And even the group support and said, hey, it's going to be tough the first day, but keep coming out here. You're only going to get better. And so she had a good positive attitude. So I think we'll probably see out there again. And the other guy, gosh, I want to say his name was Josh. We talked about him about 4 weeks ago, right before the Ragnar race. And he's one that told me I could go find a group on Facebook and join. There's always people looking for single runners. And so I was like, hey, did you end up joining that race? Like, no, I did a 50K instead. I was like, oh my gosh. So we chatted for a bit. And yeah, that was the day. Chatted for Jason a little bit afterwards. Then I went to the grocery store. I grabbed this pizza. It's a Chicago style called Outsiders Pizza. Really good. Really, really good. So I had half of that. Saved the other half for lunch tomorrow. Got a couple of cookies for the Thanksgiving. I'm kind of in that Thanksgiving mood, so having treats this week and then kind of cutting it off a little bit. And then I finished watching the Netflix show Hellbound. I thought I had at least 1 or 2 episodes left, and I had like 15 minutes left. So I was kind of disappointed to turn it on, and then that's it. That was the last episode. I don't like finding out what episode I'm in, because I think you're going to surprise the ending. I like to just kind of go and hopefully feel like, okay, I see it, they're wrapping things up. This is the last episode, and this one had a really good ending. And the whole premise is some kind of angel comes and talks to you, and you're supposedly sinned, and they say you have 3 days, and at 3 p.m., at 9 p.m., 6:30 p.m., whatever it is, you will be bound for hell, and these creatures come and get you. And they're like, is this fake? Is this real? And then they have people documenting it and covering the stories. Anyways, it was really good. Got a little intense, but really good. Really good. The end was good. I was a little upset with the end, and then it's like, there's not a second season. So hopefully they at least do one more season, maybe within a year. That's it. Got on the run, got on the push-ups, still got to read. I think I officially made it halfway. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully I can finish this before the new year. And then I have 3 months to finish the last book, which will be nice. But that's it for tonight. I'm going to try to get up and go to the gym. I don't know how it's looking because it's 1:30. Doesn't give me a lot of room to play with for sleep. We'll see what happens. So run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.